One of the things I recall about the Albany Police Athletic League in the beginning, and the person who introduced me to you was the late Art Mitchell, who was, in fact, the Albany Police Athletic League has a scholarship in his name now, but he was a member of the Negro Baseball League and a very active member of the Capital Region community. How did you and Art come to the realization that you needed a pal?
Well, Art was a product of PAL from the New York City area, and he recognized the benefits that he received by being involved in it. And Art was one of our first staunch supporters, and it was he who came up with that concept of developing a scholarship program that was rather unique in that it encouraged kids in the 8th grade and to go and continue toward the goal of going to college. So it wasn't the one where you just handed out money when you got to be a senior in high school, but here you were promised money providing you continued to perform well, go on to college. And we had like a little ringer. They became volunteers and worked with our officers as well. So they were not only getting money, they were also inadvertently getting education. They were getting an opportunity to have a mentor who was interested in their development. Art was a great guy. He's sorely missed, but it's really great. It's satisfying that we can continue to remember him in the way that we have, because Art had the right idea.
And in the uniqueness of the program, by identifying an 8th grader that you would hope would have the potential to actually, reach for higher education. In the 20 years since the scholarship's been established, we've awarded 39 scholarships, and 37 of those young people have taken us up on our offer. So when you think about identifying someone in 8th grade, and hopefully the scholarship has been a little motivator for them to actually complete high school, as we hear the numbers these days of high school completion, are continually to be, less than what they should be.
That's astounding, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. To think that we're identifying 8th graders who not only can use the financial assistance, but that extra little push maybe is what is getting them to actually reach for college.
In my opinion, the profile of the Albany Police Athletic League in the Capital Region has led to Troy having one now, and other municipalities picking that up. That has to make you, I guess the concept with that would be reflected glory that others want to participate in what you've done.
Well, it is gratifying. Like I said, I was fortunate that I was one of those young officers who, when Sergeant Wolfgang at the time reached out to the young membership in the department, and he basically coaxed us, talked us into us, made us see the idea and the wiseness of being involved in such a great effort. I had an opportunity years later in a national capacity to bring in chapters locally. So as a result, Troy has a chapter. We're working with chief chairs in Schenectady. Cooksaki has a chapter. Green Island has a chapter. So it's great to see how our Albany PAL has helped grow the PAL programs. And think about it, 22 years ago, we were ahead of our time as community policing.
Of course, of course. So we were into community policing long before it became the buzzword and the popular thing to do. This was just one of the many things that we did, and Lenny, basically shared that philosophy. And I just don't have the ability to stay involved as much as I was before. But it's good that there are people like Len and his team that continue to keep this going. It's a wonderful program.
First of all, how does a kid get involved in the Albany Police Athletic League? And secondly, why would you recommend that the boys and girls of the Capital Region get involved with the Albany Police Athletic League?
Go ahead, Len. Go ahead.
Well, we've been able to build on what was established years ago. When PAL was first started in Albany, we had 4 signature events and primarily catering to the holiday. The latchkey kids who, parents, maybe those holidays that aren't traditional day off from work, kids are left home alone, sometimes unattended, or looking for things to do, even with the parents who are fortunate to be off on those holidays. So we initially started events for those 4 days. Obviously, over the years, we've grown, to where at this point now we're serving over 3,000 youth with various activities. And the way the kids get involved is also how we know what activities to run. We're constantly surveying the young people, asking them what activities they want to do, what are they interested in. You know, if you're going to have, I mean, I'm dating myself, a Nintendo club. I don't even think it's Nintendo anymore. It's Xbox and all the other things, you know. But we're constantly getting feedback from the young people. We are fortunate that we have a great relationship with all of the school systems in the city. When I talk, you know, the parochial, the private, the charter, the public schools. So we're able to go right into the schools and communicate what activities we have coming up, do our surveys, distribute our e-news, distribute our print literature, etc. And that's, you know, we try to build an excitement with every event we run. We run family movie days now. We used to do movie days for the kids, and we said, well, why not make this a family event? So we literally have, you know, families showing up with their kids who may not have an opportunity to go to a traditional movie showing, a family of 4, and spend $60 for popcorn and soda. They come to our events, which are free or asking of a nominal fee, $2, you know, along those lines. Yeah. And that's how we've continued to grow, and by basically providing the services that the young people are asking for. And at the same time, we institute and implement our character development programs as part of the core of our message.
One of the things, again, Lenny mentioned, to have that relationship with all of the educators in Albany is invaluable, because they can get the word out, and everyone doesn't enjoy that luxury.
Right.
But the quality of programming and the history and the track record that PAL has, they are confident that, you know, the quality, you know, that what is being promoted is good for the kids. And in many cases, there are people from the school district, educators, administrators, who go out, roll their sleeves up, help too. So they know it's a partnership. We're just one more tool, or PAL's one more tool to help them accomplish what they're setting out to do, which is really difficult in today.
You mentioned computer classes, and I've been up there to your offices in the old VI, and I'll see kids in there engaged in various activities. This is not just like certain events of the year. It's like a Monday through Friday situation for the kids?
Yeah, we have after-school clubs that meet in some location on a regular basis. The same kids come every day, Monday through Friday, you know, from the time they get dismissed from school till 5:30. VI is our latest program. The kids can stay up till 6 o'clock. Parents generally pick them up on their way home. Basketball league, I mean, we have 18 teams in our basketball league, 10 cheer squads. I mean, the chess program, we have 14 schools that participate in our chess program, so we're running chess clubs in those schools. And they run different hours, different times, different locations.
One of the things that PAL tried to do was pretty much, you know, fill that gap. You know, we never set up the organization to compete with others. So if there was something that was lacking that the kids wanted to do or that they needed, that's where PAL stepped in. And as Lenny said, we would do those Columbus Day events. We would do events on those days that the kids would, Washington's birthday, otherwise they'd be sitting home by themselves. So we started out that way, and then we started with a few craft clubs and things after school. But you know, the PAL of 1988 and 1990 in that area certainly, you know, doesn't, you know, even come close to reflecting what they're doing now.
For boys and girls watching today that are in high school or college, both of you, why would you recommend getting into the police field? Bob, start with you.
Again, if you go into the career for the right reason, and that is you go in to help people, because 90% of your time or more is spent helping people. It's a service organization. And if you get that sense of satisfaction that you should get from that, then the career will be very fruitful, it'll be very rewarding, and you can't ask for anything better. Right now, on top of that, you can't find a position or a career that's as stable, that has, you know, decent benefits that you could encourage your son or daughter to enter into. But it's a wonderful career. It's very rewarding. I spent 33 years there. Len, you know, spent certainly enough time there, and I would never discourage anyone else from doing it if they're going in for the right reason. You can't go into it to make money. You can't go into it because you want to be, you know, go and make arrests. That's not what it's all about. It's the service end of it. The other stuff is secondary.
Lenny, from your point of view, why would you recommend?
As I alluded to earlier, it is the need to serve. For some people, it goes deeper than just, you know, wanting to carry a badge and a gun. All that old time stuff you used to hear about. Like Bob said, it's helping people. I mean, you read the papers all the time about about the bad stuff that goes on. What you're not seeing every day is the good things that the officers are helping, whether it's preventing a burglary or preventing a woman from an older woman having her bag snatched, or just by his mere presence, helping kids cross the street, those types of things. It is the need to serve. It's also, and PAL plays a part of that too, because we're serving the young people, we're serving the seniors, we're serving the families, we're helping keep people whole and keep family units whole, and I think that's important. The arrests that come along the way, it's part of the job. It's a great field.
Yeah, and in the case of Albany, the philosophy there and the leadership has the right idea and where they're trying to go, and PAL is just one of the many services, the proactive community service type activities that are being offered to the citizens, and those are all good things, and they've evolved in the last, again, in our careers is when they all started coming around.
Yeah. My understanding is when the police test is offered, whether it be in Syracuse, Buffalo, Binghamton, no matter where you take it, I understand that makes you eligible for any police department?
Not in our case. You have to sign up. In our case, you'd have to sign up for, a position in the Albany Police Department.
There are the smaller agency tests that are given that you can elect to have your scores go to several agencies, and depending on what their eligibility and residency requirements are.
Right, but Albany's is different. You're taking an exam for Albany, and it would be the same thing, I believe, for Schenectady or Troy, probably, Joe. The others may be a little different.
So for boys and girls watching that might want to go into the police field, they would have to pretty much select the municipality they want to be in, no matter where they take the test.
That's pretty much the way, and there are always lateral opportunities that are available in many agencies. I mean, we've received a number of folks over the year that have transferred from smaller departments, and in some cases larger departments, to come work in Albany.
But the important thing is to get their education, look at what's out there, take an opportunity to learn about the career more than what you learn in the classroom. We would suggest, and we've always encouraged, is ride-alongs and come and see what the job is really like. It's not what it's on, what's depicted on television. It's not what's in the movies. It's certainly a different job, and unless they see that firsthand, they can't really make an intelligent decision as to what they're going to spend 20 or 30 years doing.
A lot of departments have Explorer programs. We happen to run the Explorer program for the Albany PD, and it's a good way to expose yourself to some of the elements of police work.
Sure.